night of hoops action, a doubleheader in fact, and the Phoenix play host to the New Zealand Breakers, who have already played in round 5. So the Phoenix will be well rested, and they've got their big man, their man in the middle, big sauce, Alan Williams. He's back, and he came back with a bang in round 4. 18 and 9 across those 2 games. He's a beast. He'll only get better and better as well. So we'll take the overs when it comes to big sauce, Alan Williams. And this will be a cracker. Enjoy it. The Phoenix and the Breakers live in Melbourne.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
It's been a comprehensive performance by the South East Melbourne Phoenix.
They run out winners for a 3rd game in a row.
And that's just a beautiful pass by Brown. And Mitch Creek with the finish.
The New Zealand Breakers, a few less games in there, but they're a force to be reckoned with.
Liartha for 3. Yes, it's up Cheatham. Hammers it home.
What a play and what a finish.
Well, John Cain Arena in Melbourne becomes a graveyard for visiting teams when South East Melbourne turn it into the fire pit. And today, the Phoenix are chasing a 4th straight win as they play host to a battered and undermanned New Zealand Breakers. The Phoenix fans have had plenty to get excited about so far this season, and another near-capacity crowd is in the house as we welcome you to the continuation of round 5 in the Hungry Jacks at NBL. The Phoenix have won 13 of their last 15 home games and start hot favourites in this one here today. Alongside former Opals captain Jenna O'Hay and championship winner Pete Hooley, I'm John Casey. The Mitsubishi Motors ladder shows you how the contrast is going here. The Phoenix 4th, New Zealand on the bottom of the ladder, just 1 win so far and with injury problems as well. But full credit to Mike Kelly, Pete, because he's really got this South East Melbourne Phoenix team humming.
Yeah, he does, Case, and I mean 3 on the trot, but it's all about just keeping bodies healthy as long as they can, and that's been a thorn in their side the last couple of seasons with key guys coming in and out, your roles consistently changing. And the other one is defense. They've been pretty good defensively the last 3 games. They keep both of those things rolling, and they are going to be around the mark come title time.
Got great support there from Sam McKinnon with his wealth of experience as well. But Alan Williams has been a great story. 2 games into his comeback, Jenna, he's averaging 18 and a league-leading 10 rebounds a game. He is the man that can do it all.
He really is. He's come in firing. He's got that runner that we all know about. He's had really good touch. He's shooting it from the 3. He has such great energy, and just that culture piece for Phoenix is so important. And he's really pulled this team together, and they've been playing great basketball with him back on the floor.
Shaken off that knee injury he sustained in training very well indeed. Shooting the ball at 63% from the field to be top 5 in the competition. So Alan Williams is getting it done at the moment. He can certainly walk the walk, but he talks the talk as well. On NBL Overtime during the week, he spoke about Melbourne and Sydney and Tassie getting all the credit at the moment.
Do you think Copes and others are a little asleep on you guys as genuine championship contenders?
Let them sleep. Let them sleep. Everybody, let's tuck them in. Let's put a pillow underneath their head. We would love to fly under the radar.
Bring a pillow in for us, man.
We would love to fly under the radar and continue to do what we want to do. We work our butts off every day in training. No exception today. We got after it, mixed it up against each other. Super competitive, fiery group that we have. And so we're poised and keen to be able to continue to grow as a unit and not really worry about the outside noise kind of going on around the league.
Well, they're humming the Phoenix, but for Mody Mayo and New Zealand is tough times. He was runner-up in Coach of the Year voting to Adam Ford last season, taking the team from last to second, Mody Mayo. And now he's got problems having lost Zylan Cheatham on Thursday night against Adelaide. So this just looked innocuous at the time, but a foot fracture out for 6 to 8 weeks is a massive hole.
Well, could have been a lot worse based on that. There's no contact. Everybody was holding their breath 6 to 8 weeks, but they're going to have other players step up. But the one key piece they've had since they've brought back in, no Justinian Jessup, he's gone for the season. Anthony Lamb, what a great addition he's been. Has had that stint in the NBA, can stroke it really well. Had a great game the other night, 25 points, 10 of 15 from the field. And they're going to need him to continue to do that. He's going to have to be one of their main offensive threats with Parker Jackson Cartwright. And everyone else has to come along for the ride, because when this team was put together, it was obviously around Will McDowell-White, but it was around Zylan Cheatham as well. That's a name that Mody Mayo's had on the whiteboard NBL24 for 2 years. He got him, and now he misses him for 2 months. So everyone else has to help pick up the slack.
I like Lamb. I think he can bring a lot to the table. 3 years in the NBA. In May, he was playing in the NBA playoffs with Golden State Warriors. But Will McDowell-White, well, his shooting touch has eluded him, as you can see by those numbers. But he had 11 assists against Adelaide on Thursday night, just 1 of 11 from the field. But he leads the comp in assists, Jenna, and he can hurt you in so many different ways.
Yeah, he really can. And as you know, with great players, if you're not shooting well, he can still bring so much to the game of basketball. But with Cheatham out, we really need him to be on the scoreboard. He hasn't had that great touch that he has around the basket, and I expect that to be different tonight. And it looks like he is not in the starting lineup, so that's an interesting change for New Zealand.
Well, there you can see the Phoenix starting 5. No change to the team that defeated the Brisbane Bullets by 23 points here a week ago. And for the New Zealand Breakers, well, there you can see Lamb is named in the starting 5. Of course, Cheatham is the change from the game to the habit. Finn Delaney is out there. This may have been the coach writing down the wrong numbers. Sometimes that happens.
Well, it does happen. Happening a lot last year when you get the wrong name and you have to start, and that's exactly what it looks like it's going to happen here. Finn Delaney's going to have to sit down when you get the sheet done. So it's exactly what's going to happen here. With a bit of a false start, Will McDowell-White's going to have to start because his name looked like it was put on the score sheet. And it looks like Mayo maybe tried to call an audible. They
really didn't want him to start. They tried to get Izzy Liafa in there as well. So here comes Will McDowell-White.
And I wonder if that is a little bit about getting Liafa against his former team in the Phoenix as well, but to try and limit either Gary Brown or Will Cummings defensively.
We get underway from the fire pitch on Kane Arena in Melbourne, live Hungry Jacks NBL. The continuation of round 5. And it is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix who've controlled the tip here with a chance to get scoring underway. Another big crowd in the house as Williams lobs it down low. Mitch Creek from close range gets scoring started.
Great start. Find your main man down low. Good seal there. And the matchup you're really looking forward to in this game is Mitch Creek versus Finn Delaney. They love to battle one another. They always have a good contest. And I think that's why Finn Delaney was supposed to be starting.
Jackson Cartwright hard to the rim, can't convert, talked out of the points by Alan Williams, but good hustle on the boards there from Mango Mathiang just to keep it alive, and New Zealand will restart.
And quick subs in.
Sure, it's so Mathiang sits down, Will McDowell-White sits down, Liafa checks into the game.
This is the starting 5 that Mayo wanted, because this is what he originally had out there. So Finn Delaney and Anthony Lamb are going to have to play some undersized minutes. Sees an advantage here.
Putting it on the deck. But well, it's good defence again, this time from Mitch Creek, who was having none of it.
That's the advantage they're going to have on that end. If Alan Williams has to guard either Finn Delaney or Anthony Lamb or Tom Abercrombie, he's going to find it a little hard on that. Will Cummings fouls Parker Jackson Cartwright, but down the other end you'd expect big sauce just to sit down low.
Just go call everything you want when you yell.
What I want. Just want what happens on the court.
Okay.
Finn had a mismatch, drove Alan Williams, and hip checked him.
And that is fine, but you can't just run at me when I'm here. I'm next to you.
Will McDowell-White on the bench.
Let's just keep it respectful in 2 ways.
Modi Mayor and Travis Stewart enjoying an animated conversation. Parker Jackson Cartwright to the free throw line, misses the first. 77% coming into this game, 13 of 17, usually reliable. Is he teasing the fans, or are burgers on the menu? Not just yet.
I've got no idea about that.
On Parker Jackson Cartwright's game, he's top 5 in the league in assists, leads the competition in steals. And I think we're going to enjoy watching him here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. So he gets New Zealand's scoring account open inside the first minute of play from John Cain Arena. Mollett picks up the dribble. Now Williams. The undersized Lamb working against him. Williams likes his chances here, turns to the middle and comes up with the goods.
Well, that's what we're expecting when New Zealand goes small to go straight into big sauce, and he used his body and really nice finish and touch inside.
And if you're Mike Kelly in the Phoenix, that's one advantage you can have, is potentially try and get a couple of cheap fouls on either Anthony Lamb or Finn Delaney, as Parker Jackson Cartwright just so quick. One of, if not the quickest players in the league when he gets downhill, as Will Cummings tries to answer straight back, and there is a quick foul on Finn Delaney. So for the advantage on one end that they're going to have trying to go at Alan Williams, they have to do it down the other end and try and limit him.
Game of mismatches to start this match.
It is going to be an interesting chess game to watch between Mike Kelly and Monty Mayo now of how they want to work it in. This is something I'm intrigued to watch, Janet, throughout this game, is that ball screen defense from Alan Williams against a guy like Parker Jackson Cartwright. It hasn't been his strength since entering the league. He does everything else really well, but just the speed of a guy like PJC getting downhill could cause some issues.
Yeah, really clever by New Zealand to attack that as well. Cartwright Jackson, he's so quick, and getting downhill, it just puts Williams on his back feet straight away.
WNBL Championship winner Beck Cole is on the sideline for us today. Welcome to you, Beck. Nice atmosphere in the house.
The atmosphere is absolutely crazy. The green clappers are going off. But it is so good to see Mitch Creek and Big Sauce getting into it early. He said they wanted to light up a fire in here tonight, and we see that big block from Creaky and Big Sauce being aggressive early.
Look forward to your comments throughout the game. Thanks to Beck Cole. Sideline for us. It's now for the Phoenix, elevating and firing and turning to the crowd as if to say that's how you get it done was Gary Brown.
Good knockdown from Gary Brown. You can already see the way they're trying to defend everything. It's kind of junking it up. Everyone's going to kind of switch, trying to help each other.
They've been aggressive and they're being rewarded here, the Breakers, as Finn Delaney comes up with the goods. His first score in the game. Parker Jackson Cartwright has 6 of their 8. Phoenix 3 of 3 from the field so far. Good sharing of the ball there. And free throws to come now for Alan Williams.
We spoke about it. That's going to be the issue, is if you get one of the bigs in foul trouble early, and Alan Williams has done that. And here's the Harvey Norman replay. Gary Brown, he loves to play with the ball. Grew up watching Hot Sauce from N1. That's his favourite hooper growing up. Didn't really watch much of the NBA, and that's why you can see the way he plays. And that's the second foul on Finn Delaney.
So Alan Williams has struggled from the free throw line since coming back. 5 of 11 at 46%. Which is a long way from where we saw him last season, shooting the ball 79%, and makes the adjustment.
2 fouls in 2.5 minutes, and Finn Delaney's staying out there, and sometimes you've got to save a player from themselves because they're too important to the team. And Jenna, how do you play with this if you Finn? Because you want to stay aggressive, but 3 fouls, well, that's a good answer back, but it's on this end, 3 fouls in the first half, and probably sitting down for the rest of it.
Yeah, I'd be trying to switch everything and get myself out of the key if I was Finn Delaney.
Again, aggressive work here from the Breakers, but it's shut down by the Phoenix. Ball knocked down by Parker Jackson Cartwright. The longest name in NBL history.
Does he really? How's that for a tidbit for your Saturday night?
PJC will stick with, I guess. We're saying his name. He's that quick. He's got speed to burn. We're probably going to be picking it out of the net before we get his name out.
Well, I'm going back at you, Case. What's the shortest there? I thought you would have had it ready to roll.
Rob Lowe would be in the mix, wouldn't he?
Well, it's Roberts, unfortunately. We're going to go with the Christian name.
Another 2 for the Phoenix. They'll open up a 4-point buffer here. Timeout is called. This has been an entertaining first 3 and a bit minutes here in the opening quarter. 15-11. Well, the Phoenix on top.
It's just been very limited defense played, and Dane Pinot that's what he does well, is the pick and roll ball screen. But that's, you can see Alan Williams' presence is worried him right there. He didn't want to get that drop-off pass because that's 2 points. That's his floater, and that's money.
You can say that the defense isn't very good, but offense is being very smart and attacking every single big player. They're getting downhill off every single on-ball screen down the New Zealand end. Every time Sauce is on a defense player, they're attacking him.
Well, we know one big man is not here, Silent Cheatham, and Parker Jackson Cartwright spoke about his absence pre-game.
In this instance, it's collective. You know, when you lose a player like Z, it's, you know, everyone has to pick up what he brings. And that's intensity, that's toughness on offense and defense. So we're just all going to look to do our jobs moving forward. He's one of our leaders, one of our big vocal guys in practice, in the game. So it's a tough loss for us, but, you know, we have to kind of pick up his slack and next man up type mentality. You know, we have a deep team, a talented team, and that's kind of our, just our identity moving forward.
just a huge piece to be missing. And as I mentioned off the top, Mayo last season wanted to bring in Zylan Cheatham, didn't get him. And the backup option was Jarrell Brantley. There's not a bad backup option at all, but got his man this year and wanted to pair him with Will McDowell-White, and that was a big selling point of Will McDowell-White choosing the Breakers in free agency. And there's a turnover straight out of the timeout, backcourt violation. Now they miss him for 2 months, and you suspect that could be a little longer depending how that heals and what they do when they go out and get another piece. I saw some people on Twitter throwing out Tyler Cook's name. Well,
he would be a great pickup for this roster.
Well, the upcoming schedule not too bad for New Zealand in terms of if they get the best case scenario with Cheatham, it might only be 7 games. So it's going to be a quarter of the season, but let's hope that he gets back ASAP, because he's such an exciting player to watch as well.
So fun, just lives above the rim, but had 30 points when they came back from the States and showcased what he could do.
So 3 team fouls on the Breakers here in 3.5 minutes as Will Cummings fires off the mark. A chance for New Zealand. Jackson Cartwright charges back up the floor. This is Abercrombie sharing it across. Lamb works into the paint, confronted by Creek, who strips him of possession. Great defensive work again from Mitch Creek. He looks inside for Moller, and they did a good job there, Will McDowell-White, just to deflect the ball out of court and defuse a dangerous situation.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4.
Great job from Mitch Creek. Not to leave his feet, not to get in trouble where he could potentially be called a foul, and then just gets a nice swipe on it. Anthony Lamb, you'd expect him, he had a couple of good looks before putting the ball on the floor. And that's not going to make Mike Kelly happy at all. So from the free-flowing offensive onslaught we had for the first 3 minutes, we've had back-to-back turnovers.
Well, that's what the timeouts are for, right? To make adjustments. And I think both teams would have been speaking about their defensive efforts.
Here we go.
First turnover for the Phoenix. New Zealand has 3 so far. The team's 55% and above from the field. Now White. One way. Back to the left-hand side. Let Abercrombie based on Mitch Creek, though. Get out the pass. So he's having quite an influence, Mitch Creek. Particularly the defensive end, as Gary Brown shows them some dance steps. A pass, Will McDowell-White off glass, comes up with the goods. 7 on 3 of 3 shooting now for Gary Brown. So the margin is out to 6. 6 unanswered points here from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
I think Gak's doing a really good job on those on-ball screens there. He's at the point of the screen, he's carrying his hand and being able to drop back with his player as well, and it's really stopped New Zealand's momentum on those on-ball screens.
And Will McDowell-White, that's back-to-back possessions where he just looks really passive, and we know he's had his struggles. I think he's 2 of 20 over the last 2 games, so really struggling to shoot the ball, but he's got to stay in that aggressive mindset, because we know he's a terrific passer, but if you're just looking to pass first and really worried about your shot, then Phoenix know that as well, and they're going to really try and sit in the passing lanes and try and get some steals.
Matt Kenyon onto the floor as well for the Phoenix. They used 8 players here in 4.5 minutes. Their depth really does trouble other teams from outside. Glidden is off the mark, and Dane Pinot wrestling for the rebound.
That's what he does best. Dane Pinot. You got to get a body on him, and not just get a body, you've got to get rid of him from the keyway, because he just has a knack of coming up with offensive rebounds ever since he's been in the league. You remember he had the 20 rebound game against Illawarra when he played for the Phoenix.
He averaged 2 points, 3 boards for the Phoenix last year in 10 minutes. As Delaney takes them on. Pass, though, never looked likely. They've coughed it up again. Turnover number 5 for New Zealand. Pen Air, been aggressive all season. Only knows one way. Opens his scoring account. 8 unanswered points now from the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. And alarm bells just starting to make their noise for the Breakers. Will McDowell-White puts it on the deck, and off the ball whistle. Foul's going to be called here on Matt Kenyon, I believe.
Well, that's what you want to see from Will McDowell-White. It's a weird thing to say it's his signature move, but when he comes off the on-ball, it's a little skip. It's a little skip that he tries to stand up the opposing big, get them out of stance, and then tries to get downhill and either try and get someone else an open shot or score himself.
McDowell-White, and batted down pass. Williams came back to McDowell-White in broken play. Dance inside one defender and came up with his first score in the game.
I think that'll be great for his confidence. As we said, his touch around the ring hasn't been great the last couple of games, so hopefully seeing that go through the ring, and he'll be a lot more aggressive.
Ruben Turang, he feeds outside, but Alec Williams is splashing the triple.
He has come on, been terrific defensively, and then come out and shot that three. That looked beautiful. That hasn't been part of his game. But
I'm not sure I've seen
beautiful.
He just stepped into that like he's never missed one before.
Adding an extra string to his bow.
What's going on at Phoenix practices? Alan Williams and Gorjok Gak just teeing up threes.
Now going to be called here on Mitch Creek. Going to be his first personal. 4th team foul on the Phoenix here in this opening quarter.
Look at this, and Dane Pinot's doing what's probably on the scout.
Here we go.
I'm thinking the Gak's going to rise up and shoot it, but I bought my Gak stock last year, Jenna. I'm a big fan of what he could potentially become.
Stock is rising with that three-point shot coming along too.
McDowell White got it from Pinot. He's back to Abercrombie, who dances inside and comes up with the finish for his first score in the game. Inside the last 4 minutes of an entertaining opening quarter. Trust you're enjoying our coverage around Australia and beyond here. Hungry Jacks NBL round 5. Air, Vague, Kenyon. So Williams the only starter on the floor. In fact, no, it's Gak who's there. So no starters at the moment there for the Phoenix. And Breakers looking to exploit that at the moment as McDowell White works at the top of the key. Now back to his favoured right hand, and he is rolling. 4 points now in the game for Will McDowell White.
It's been nearly 7 minutes. South East Melbourne Phoenix haven't got a single rebound on either end.
Wow. Shooting the ball 8 of 9 from the field at 89%. There haven't been a lot of O boards to grab though.
As well as 5 turnovers from the Breakers on their shots.
Kenyon, type of prayer, couldn't get it done, and now a foul call on Dane Pinot. So 4th team foul on the Breakers in this quarter. Matt Kelly has used 10 players here already in 7 minutes of play. Likewise, Modi Mayo has been ringing the changes. He's got 10 into the opening quarter as well.
Sub here as well, come in.
Subfest.
Yeah.
Not surprised so much with the Breakers. I mean, coming off a game a couple of days ago where you want to get some fresh legs in and try and get out to see who's feeling good and who's in a different role, because again, they wouldn't have practiced without Zylan Cheatham in there. What lineups are we going with? We saw the funky starting lineup as well, and they kind of got to figure things out on the fly until they have a few practice days in a row.
Williams back onto the floor, and against Lamb with a height advantage, muscles his way in from close range. He's now got 6 in the game. Alan Williams joins Parker Jackson Cartwright as the highest scorer so far.
A little surprised that we haven't seen Mango Mathiang in for Alan Williams. The way he's just sat down low and making things happen. If you're the Breakers, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to put Alan Williams in the ball screen and then have him try and guard a more agile big.
Lamb at the other end tries to exploit his edge. Can't get it done against Williams. Chance for the Phoenix. As Tarangi goes to Williams. Plenty of contact. And they're calling a flop there on Lamb. And Sauce is loving it.
He was calling for the and one on the last possession as well, so he's very excited about that one. And there's a rebound as well.
Yeah, so I think the initial one that upset Anthony Lamb is he's saying that on the seal he got hit in the face from an... There you go, there you go. So that's what he was upset about, saying there was a inadvertent hand from Alan Williams that got him in the face, and I think that probably led to a frustration. I'm going to try and take a charge here.
He certainly appeared to take one high, and the flop warning might have been just a little harsh. There was certainly sources making his presence felt. But nonetheless, that's the way the referees saw it. So McDowell White hands over. Abercrombie back onto the deck here.
Definition of small ball for the New Zealand Breakers at the moment, with Vin Delaney playing the 5 and looks like Abercrombie in the 4.
Will McDowell White forced into a tough one by Vague. Got his own rebound, keeps it alive. Rough Stavages goes hard at them. Shot clock expires in the background, and the Phoenix have got it again.
Great verticality. Uh-oh.
Here's Ben Air. He's ready to go. He pulls off another 3.
Ben Air is shooting the 3 like they're free throws this season. 13 of 18 from deep on the season so far. He is just automatic.
Game high 12-point buffer now for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Cartwright works inside. Delaney against Air. Went back for seconds from close range. He's now up to 7 to lead the Breakers. 3 of 4 from the field. Tim Delaney, excited to have him back in the Hungry Jacks NBL as well. And that should be an over and back violation called on Williams. It was active hands there from Abercrombie, dislodged it down onto Alan Williams' leg.
You had possession, he tipped it onto your leg, you go and get it.
Looked like the right call. I'm having a look at it here. Yep. Comes off the knee of Alan Williams. Just a little bit of Tom Abercrombie. And when they're undersized, this is the way that they can try and turn the ball over, is get Tom Abercrombie to get up and in and try and force turnovers that way.
So a double-figure lead for the Phoenix, a little over a minute out. Pass is picked off. He was just a little too nimble for them there, Will Cummings, and comes up with the finishing touches as well. He's top 5 in the league in steals and shows us why there.
As you spoke about, Hulls, probably a lot of these lineups New Zealand haven't played with before. So it's all feeling each other out, and there's a few turnovers that I wouldn't expect from New Zealand, but with these new lineups that Modi's trying to find out some rhythm with New Zealand, a few turnovers there that I wouldn't expect.
Oh, it's an ice hockey game right now for New Zealand with all the substitutions. It's almost every second whistle.
Plenty of contact there. Staver just thought he was inconvenienced by Will Cummings. Referees didn't see it that way. So the margin is 12. Inside the last minute of action here in the opening quarter. Creek reels it in. Now puts it on the deck, opens up for him. He charges down low. Williams tried to tip in. That couldn't find the target. And they put a stop to it through Liapa, another former Phoenix player. He's up the floor quickly, looking for a 2-for-1 here, and they get it done. Lamb scores. So the shot clock is going to beat them, and Phoenix will slow this down, one suspects, for the last play of the opening quarter. Alan Williams, though, well, that was a turnover waiting to happen, and Abercrombie was just waiting there, licking his lips.
Oh, he does a lot well, but give it up, big man.
So a chance for Parker Jackson Cartwright, who Euro steps his way down to the baseline, just couldn't find the finishing touches. And an entertaining first quarter concludes here with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix on top by 10. At quarter time, it's the Phoenix 31, New Zealand 21. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have your company here in the Hungry Jacks NBL on a Saturday night. Also exciting to have Mitsubishi Motors back this season. Some fans are celebrating in stadium with the Mitsubishi Motors three-pointer, foam hands, and a range of prizes up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. We've seen some good shooting, 3 or 4 from deep for Phoenix so far. And we saw Finn Delaney knock down a 3 as well. Ben Ayre's been doing it all season. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, 31-21 here at quarter time, have led exclusively. And New Zealand Breakers putting up a good fight, but it's been all over the place. For them a little bit, too many turnovers, 6 of those. Phoenix have stolen it from them 5 times.
Well, it's been interesting, just the lineups, the quick substitutions. Is Parker Jackson-Cartwright's way off on that one. Hasn't had his struggle shooting the ball. 4 of 16 from 3 coming into it. That's going to count from Will Cummings. And Phoenix have never had too many issues scoring the ball, but what we're seeing right now, it looks like a distinct focus of whenever there's a turnover or a really poor shot, they're trying to sprint down the other end and go quick in transition.
That's excellent work there from Cummings. 3 of 4 from the field. He has 8 points. No one has more in the game. An 81% free throw shooter on the season coming into this game.
Oh, bit of extracurricular.
Not helping.
Mike Kelly's in there.
Not helping.
You don't just throw him on the ground like that.
He's diving twice. You're both grabbing one another. Every time. You're helping if you take care of your players. You can just throw him to the ground like that. Is that basketball? Thank you. Flop warning, Damien.
See Mike Kelly's opinion of it. Mody Mayo wanted his presence felt as well.
Just wait.
Oh, look at this. So it's Anthony Lamb and Williams. And
Stay here. Stay here. We're having a discussion.
they got tangled up in the rebound contest, and there was not a whole lot in that initial rebound contest.
On the lock-up, I have them both locking up with one another, and then I have Lamb throwing himself to the floor. So I wasn't going to have a foul there. In terms of additional afterwards, I just have coming together a bit of work.
They're basically coming in supporting
Right here, that's just getting tangled up. I know Anthony Lamb's got his arm around Alan Williams, is what Williams is saying, and then Williams tried to get him off him. That just there is just Delaney coming in to have his teammates back, and then after all that, I think it's just play on.
I agree. I think Lamb was frustrated from earlier when he got that block warning, and then that's another instance between the two of them. So I think it's just a bit of frustrations and probably the scoreboard as well for him.
Well, Delaney beats the corner and knocking down the shot there. It's all for Isaiah Liafa. His first score in the game and a much-needed bucket.
His confidence are well good. 3 of 13 from the 3 coming in, just averaging 4 points a game. He was terrific last season. Had a great campaign for the Tall Blacks in the World Cup as well. But right now, whenever the Phoenix get to that, with Alan Williams that low, they are scoring at will.
Lead by a dozen here. First minute of play in the second quarter. Jackson-Cartwright beats it outside. Liafa once more back to where it started. Shot clock rolls to single digits, and we haven't seen a lot of that so far in the game. Delaney takes on Creek. Now double team reaching in, so they've left the man open, Jackson-Cartwright, and he makes them pay as he knocks down the third 3 of the game for the Breakers.
I was surprised he gave up that first one. He kicked it to Delaney in the corner, so I'm happy he shot that, and good to see it go through the ring.
Did well to relocate. You know Alan Williams was trying to help out, but if you're Alan Williams, you've just got to stay attached to Parker Jackson-Cartwright. Oh my goodness, that was a high low to Gary Brown of all people.
Parker Jackson-Cartwright did well to defuse it and charge up the floor, was shut down from behind by Mitch Creek, who's doing it all for the Phoenix. A high arc on the shot and all the bottom of the net there for Brown.
That's more what Brown's used to. He's not used to having his back to the basket inside.
Hang on, Jen. Did he just sham God into a long, contested, sideways step back too? What is going on?
Well, they're 4 of 5 from deep, the Phoenix. They lead the competition at 39% from long range on the season. Why not? Liafa, who's feeling confident, he peels off another 3. Back-to-back triples for him to start this quarter.
There's always something more in a game when you're playing a jersey you used to be in.
Emotions are always that little bit higher for those games, aren't they?
A good extension there from Cummings as well. He's up to 11 to lead all scorers.
Do you sleep better the night before those games, Jenna, or do you get a little bit more anxious because you're like, I'm so keen, I've circled this game on the calendar?
I get a lot less sleep before those games, thinking about it all night.
Jackson Cartwright on the deck, whistle on the play. Now going to be called on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. It's on Mitch Creek, so his second personal. First team foul on Southeast Melbourne since quarter time.
That one is the one right there, Jenna. If you're Alan Williams, you've got to trust that. Have a look at this. Oh, that is travel maybe, but that is audacious. There was a lot of little steps in there.
Dow wide, outside. It's time from long range off the mark. So Phoenix by 11, 3 minutes played in the second. How about the ball skills from Gary Brown getting at the Mitch Creek for the finish and a chance at a three-point play.
That is pretty.
Well, welcome to Gary Brown's playground. That's what this is right now. He is just out there at lunchtime having some fun. We are 7 plays away from an entire round 5 top 10 featuring Gary Brown.
So Mitch Creek to the free throw line. It's still more than any other player for the Phoenix. And the margin is out to a game high 14 points. And that's not sustainable for New Zealand. They need to slow this down a little, because the depth of the Phoenix is going to run them ragged here from outside. Stavicius couldn't get it done. Still yet to score in the game. 1 of 2 from the field.
My word, Mr. Casey, that was pronounced so perfectly.
Here's Moller with it. Shot clock to single numbers again for the Phoenix. Moller takes them on, gets it done. Chance at a three-point play for him.
Well, not sustainable is one nice way to put it, Case, because they need to get stops. And it's been a very interesting substitution pattern. Again, as we've mentioned, without Silent Cheatham, guys are playing in different positions. Not only that, but they're playing in different lineups they would have practiced with for a whole lot. And the beauty of going away to not only play those NBA games, but you spend a lot of time together, you practice a lot, you get to understand, okay, this is going to be the lineup I'm playing with in the first half, might be different in the second half. You remove such a key piece. You remove like a 35-minute-a-game player, and everyone's playing with different matchups. And we see it on offense. They're on a different page right now, but defensively, they need to get some stops, because this is a mammoth score being put on them right now.
Bit going on at the moment, including a Phoenix 17-point buffer. Remembering they're coming off a 23-point win against Brisbane, who subsequently won in Perth last night. They beat Adelaide by 17 prior to that, and made them look very ordinary. So the Phoenix are really humming at the moment. Stavicius puts it on the deck, off the glass, comes up with his first points in the game. Like the aggression from him. They need a whole lot more of it.
He's a really exciting prospect.
Well, Brown got in the air with nowhere to go. Liapa puts the Jets on, wants to take on Gak, and played that intelligently. That's a trip to the free throw line.
Bodie, you got the call. I need you to come down. Well, push.
Foul caught on Gorjak Gak, his first personal.
Has anyone ever calmed down after being told to calm down, do you think?
We were talking about that just before the game, weren't we? About how if I was trying to give the referees the benefit of the doubt, and if they just say, hey, calm down, we're going to talk, that the players and coaches would calm down, and the opposite has happened there.
Early after the free throw line. Just edges his team just a little closer. But it's the Phoenix by 13. 4 minutes played in the second. It's been entertaining. First of our double headers. A little later, it's Cairns against the Sydney Kings. Hope you can stick around for that one. And a floater in the paint. Will Cummings has got it all going at the moment. 13 on 5 of 6 shooting to lead all scorers. So much depth and the confidence of this team at the moment, the Phoenix. McDowell White works to the top of the key. Shot clock to 10. Back sags off him. Liapa goes back to McDowell White. Puts it on the deck now, and off glass comes up with the 2.
It seems like when they get a bit of side-to-side action and get a ball screen and get downhill, they're getting some good looks. But it's this end they need to tighten up. 49 points with still 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
I can't do that math, but that's on track for a lot of points in the first half.
They're over the half-century mark right now. And Case, I've gone into the research back. 113 is the most the Phoenix have scored in their franchise history. They've done that twice. Once in 2020 and once 2023. And they are well on track to obliterate that at this point.
At the moment, the Phoenix are rolling, and Mayo has had enough. We've still got 5 minutes remaining here in the second. They're up to 53 and have a 17-point lead.
This on the Harvey Norman replay. And again, how many times have the Breakers been caught in no man's land? And if you're Dane Pinot, who's normally exceptional there, you've got to make one or two decisions. You're either backing right off and letting someone take a floater, or you're going to try and close the gap and trust that one of your teammates has your back.
This has been impressive, but someone even more impressive is standing by on the sidelines with Beck Cole. Take it away.
I'm here with the Aussie GOAT of basketball and my Southside Flyers teammate, Lauren Jackson. What have you thought of the Phoenix so far in this first half?
Well, pretty good. It's great to watch them. They're doing really well, and yeah, it's great to be here supporting them.
I see you've brought your two boys with you tonight. They're wearing fan favourite Creaky jerseys. What are you a fan of Creaky's game?
I just love his heart. I love the way that he plays, his passion, and, you know, obviously getting to know him the last couple of years, he's a great guy. So I'm just here to support, and, you know, we're Southeast Melbourne. Yeah, that's who we are.
So everyone knows you've come back from a major injury. The people want to know, will LJ be back for game one of the WNBL round?
I mean, I think so, right, Captain? I think so.
I think no comment, watch this space, but buy tickets, come down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for chatting, and I'll see you bright and early Monday morning.
All right, Giles, sounds good.
Great to have Lauren Jackson in the house with Beck Cole. WNBL launched this week. First game next Wednesday night in Adelaide, with Adelaide playing Melbourne. So get along and support the Australian Women's National Basketball League if you can. Right now the Breakers, they're trying to work their way back into the equation. Down 17.
And even further to that, it talks about the Phoenix have most they've scored in their franchise history is 113. The Breakers since 2010, Case, the most they've given up is 117. That was back in 2019 to your mob. 36 has put up 117 on them. And again, both these records are tending to be obliterated.
It's been impressive from the Phoenix so far. I'm sure the Breakers are helping themselves too much by wanting to play up-tempo with them. Loose ball scramble here. It trickles out of court. The Phoenix will get it back. And look at Mitch Creek. He's ready to go.
Well, they just smell blood. Out in transition, they're just having a field day. And you wonder if after this game, after they get a few more days off and some practice without Zylan Cheatham, do they look at what can we do differently? What's our game plan like? We can already see it switching up here. They're in a 2-3 zone.
Brown fires.
And we're seeing Mango for the first time. I was starting to think he was injured.
Well, point for, I mean, we got a false start up, didn't we, off the top? And you're right, with the way that Alan Williams and Jack have had their way. But I'm kind of expected to see a zone a little earlier.
Foul's called on Moller here. He's forcing a path there against Cam Glidden. A lot of science in that. His second personal. That's 14 fouls now on the Phoenix in this quarter.
Yeah, gotcha. No, you're right. All good.
Abercrombie will sit down, replaced here by Finn Delaney.
Yeah, let's go.
There we go.
Come around the line.
Marker Jackson Cartwright will bring the New Zealand Breakers up the floor. Working against Moller to the elbow. It's outside. Glidden doesn't like the look of it. Marker Cartwright now gets him a good look. Glidden ready to measure the three and knocks it down.
Just as Hooley was saying before, once they get ball reversal, 2-3 sides of the floor, they're getting really good shots.
This is really not surprising to see them in a 2-3 zone, but the key to that is they need to get those good shots, because if you continue to take poor shots or turn the ball over, you can't get set in your zone, and otherwise it just becomes pointless.
Good work from the Breakers there. Nice hustle. Delaney feeds Liapa, works inside Moller. Glidden ready to go again, this time off the mark.
Good opportunity here for Cam Glidden. Had a good pre-season and was brought over by Monty Mayo and told last season the frustration from Mayo to Cam Glidden was, if I see you shot fake or pass the ball, you're sitting down. I brought you in here to shoot the ball. Must be a nice feeling to have when a coach says you have one role to come in and let that thing fly.
Yeah, good to see him taking those because he's going to get plenty of opportunities in this game, so he needs to keep letting that fly, and I know they'll go down because he's a great shooter.
This is a zone buster. Alan Williams, with that floater, is a zone buster. Now, it's going to have to be someone on the weak side has to go with Alan Williams to try and limit his catch in the high post. Normally, when a big gets there, you're either going to kind of contest it or let him make a play. But if Alan Williams gets anywhere below the free throw line in that zone and gets a wide-open floater...
That's a layup.
That's a layup. He's missed one in his 27-year lifetime. I saw him make one as a baby. He came out of the womb shooting floaters.
Well, free throws to come here for the Breakers. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix over the limit here in this second quarter. Like Parker Jackson Cartwright's game. Remaining aggressive here, earning a trip to the stripe. 3 of 8 from the field with 9 points, 4 assists so far. And 2 of 3 from the free throw line. They've been able to slow the Phoenix down a little as well, as Burgers are on offer once more.
They only scored the 4 points in the last 2 minutes, the Phoenix, and how damaging they have been. Shooting 71% from the field, 22 of 31, 4 of 6 from 3.
Al Williams puts it on the deck. They left him alone. This time can't get it done. Glidden the rebound.
Commentators, curse.
I tried to look at you and try and say, don't throw me under the bus.
Jackson Cartwright gets it back from Delaney. Shot clock works to 10. Delaney, feet set. Off the mark. Moller grabs the rebound. So 11 boards apiece now.
Hasn't been a whole lot of rebounds to go around. 12 turnovers between them. Shooting the ball. Breakers are shooting at 46%, which is not too shabby themselves. 41% from 3 as well.
Air jacks it up and earns a trip to the free throw line.
This is the Breakers team who are last in the league at rebounding, just 31 per game. And something about John Cain Arena, they've lost 12 of 13 playing on this floor.
It's not a good number, is it?
But people want to read too much into it, but players know. You know when you're coming in that we haven't won here for an awfully long time, and whether it's what you're doing in prep, whether it's just the situation of who you're playing against, it does come into people's minds when they step on the floor.
Mody Mayo, very interesting character. We're going to hear more from him at halftime in a special feature, so for our New Zealand viewers in particular.
And what they can't blame it on, Case, is poor coffee. They just can't, because there's plenty of options around that you can get a coffee before you go.
There's so many. They're expensive, but there is lots of coffees around.
The inflation's really hit the coffee bean, hasn't it?
So inside the last 2 minutes of an up-tempo first half, Phoenix by 17. Jackson Cartwright takes them on. And he's off to the free throw line once more, and again he remains aggressive.
Alan Williams wants this look, wants this challenge. I think there are 2.5 Phoenix players who are in the circle of trust to call for a challenge. I don't think there's too many more. Do you think you would have? I think if you called for a challenge, Jenny, you would have got it every single time.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, that's what I thought. For good reason.
Who are the 2 for Phoenix?
I think Alan Williams, he's just too nice to... the foul wasn't even on him. He was just trying to help out a teammate.
I feel like as a coach, I wouldn't trust any player. We all think we're correct.
See, I think that's the right mindset to take. We saw a couple last year, even a couple early this year, where the players begging a coach. The play's down the other end, not a chance.
Cummings goes to Williams and gets it back. Shot clock rolls to single digits here. The credit to the breaks. They've been able to slow the Phoenix down. That's a dangerous pass. Moller did well. Got it to Vague. He stripped of it. Shot clock about to expire in the background, and that is a shot clock violation now in the Phoenix.
We've seen a very small Breakers team on the floor in this first half. Until now, they're incredibly long. They had Anthony Lamb playing the top of the zone. I think there's some potential success here. Going like that Syracuse College 2-3 zone where you've got a lot of length up front, and no matter what, Parker Jackson Cartwright's going to have to be out there, so he will have to be at the top of the zone on one side, but you can fill it up with a lot of length around it.
Just 4 points in the last 3.5 minutes for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix as we take a snooze timeout. Going to be a busy time in the National Basketball League as well. Plenty to look forward to particularly with Indigenous round coming up as well. So keep your eyes on the social channels for this, more information about it to celebrate Indigenous round, the Hungry Jacks NBL and the Signet WNBL. They're hosting a special basketball community event at the Loom, Melbourne. It's on Sunday, November 5. The current experience there is Connection. It's the most expansive collection of First Peoples art ever assembled. So if you haven't seen it yet, here's a great opportunity. You'll see players from both leagues there signing autographs, taking photos. You can secure your tickets now via the Loom, L-U-M-E, Melbourne's website. So get around it. I think the jerseys look spectacular again.
They look great every year, and it's every single one. But I tell you what, the Loom was lucky enough to MC the Australian Basketball Players Association Awards that were held there. That exhibit is phenomenal. If you have not been there, take the kids, take everybody. It is a great time.
Bulls, when are the Indigenous jerseys just going to be the jerseys?
Look, I don't think it's called retweet anymore, but retweet or re-X that exact statement, Jenna. I'm on board. I think they should be. They are phenomenal every single season. I do love the story behind every single one.
So the Breakers down 15, a little over a minute out from halftime. We're down by as many as 17. Started this quarter 10 in arrears. Nick Glidden another look, and this time he's off the mark. Gary Brown gets after the rebound. At 7 in the opening quarter, Gary Brown feeds Williams, works into the paint, a little out of control. They turn it over for the 6th time in the game. Breakers have 7 in that category.
Alan Williams trying to copy Gary Brown out on the break. That's twice now he's trying to put the ball on the floor and get a little saucy with it.
Appiang hands over.
Bit of spilt sauce.
Jackson Cartwright. To the advantage there of Lamb. And now a whistle on the play as well.
We also saw just before, Jenna, Alan Williams, when anyone steals his rebound, visibly frustrated. Here's your chance. Who would always do that to you in those important games? When you're about to just have your own rebound or something, one of those rebound thieves.
Annalie Maley loves a rebound.
Doesn't she?
She's aggressive, so I would let her take those ones. She's probably the one that comes to mind first.
Flies in from everywhere.
Yeah.
Will Cummings doesn't like it. It's his second personal. More free throws here for the New Zealand Breakers. They had only 3 free throws in the opening quarter, New Zealand. They've taken another 8 in this term, and they have hit 7 of them. So they've worked their way back into a 13-point deficit. He's taking them on once more, and it will count, and draws a foul on Parker Jackson Cartwright.
59 points in the first half.
Third personal on Parker Cartwright.
He's scored 8 points in the last 4.5 minutes, so it's actually been a better effort once they've gone to this zone.
And with a bit more length about them.
For sure. It's a lot easier us sitting here to say, but I think we're all scratching our heads a little bit. Mighty Mayo, and then again, geez, we've got some fantastic audio, people. How quickly you hear one word from a coach and say, that'll do with that microphone for now. We don't need to hear the next word.
Will Cummings, a very quiet 16 points. He's just taken his chances when he's got them. He's shot at a really high percentage. He's been terrific in this first half.
So 60 points for the Phoenix here in the first half equals the season best, which the Illawarra Hawks scored against the Phoenix in round 2. So the Phoenix have 64 in the second half against Perth. So it's not their highest scoring half as yet. Here's Finn Delaney being aggressive and earning a trip to the free throw line.
It's just going to be one possession at a time for New Zealand. Just keep getting as many stops as you can in a row. Make them shoot tough shots, and if they hit a couple, don't get deflated, and then execute. Every time they've got the ball side to side, then get a ball screen or some action, they've got a very good look. And to be honest, 44, potentially 46 points in a half is a great score.
And when they get a good look, they're in their defensive transition position, so they're not getting beat on offensive transition and wide open layouts for Phoenix. So they've really slowed the game down, getting it side to side and then getting back on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, the 7 turnovers and a couple of the rush shots just aren't going to do enough. 46 at half is a winnable score.
Except when your opponents have got 60. Snooze timeout called by Mike Kelly with 20 seconds left on the clock here as we head toward half-time. Timeout by the Phoenix. Great to have Finn Delaney back in the competition as well. Let's learn a little bit more about Mike Kelly and his coaching philosophy at the Phoenix.
Playing every night with an edge, competitively, and I think we've brought in guys that can do that. We haven't seen them all on the floor at one time yet, but that's the goal, is to be a great, consistent defensive team, and at the same time bring in talent that's going to score. So our focus right now has been more on defense, and I think the offense will come. You know, I'm always kind of trying to listen and learn and soak up as much as I can, whether it's from, you know, watching European basketball, NBL. I think the NBL coaches are amazing. Definitely trying to learn from everybody you watch, and just constantly, I mean, it's information overload on coaching. And if I can't get it from people I know, I just have to go on Twitter and they'll tell me what I'm doing wrong.
He's exactly right there. Coach of the Year with the Cairns Taipans in 2020. Is he a better coach second time around, Jenna?
Oh, 100%. I think obviously he was good in Cairns, and then he's gone away, and as you said, he's learning. He's a sponge, he's a student of the game, and I think he's slowly putting his imprint on this Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team, and you can see that their defensive effort as the season's gone on is much better, and then their offensive flows from that.
Behind the back pass to Williams, just set him a task there. It trickles out of court, so 4.7 on the clock here for the Phoenix.
I love that from New Zealand. They show the 2-3 zone, and both the guards, Liafa and Will McDowell-White, as soon as Ben Air got over halfway, went to double team him. Just tried to speed up. Don't let them get comfortable and run the set that they called a timeout for.
Good pressure again from the Breakers. They force the error. Chance for Lamb. Clock in the background, gets it done on the buzzer. So the New Zealand Breakers get the score right on the halftime buzzer here and close this margin back to 12. It was 10 when we started this quarter. He got out to as many as 17. And this has been a good fight back from the Breakers. Credit to them.
That's why you call the timeouts. I mean, they wanted to run something. That's why Mike Kelly called it. And then Monty Mayo said, we're going to junk this up. We're going to speed him up. And they ended up having to take it out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. And they caused the turnover and good momentum.
Let's get some reaction courtside. Will Cummings standing by with Beck Cole.
Will, you came out super aggressive with not only deflections but steals, and you also took all your opportunities offensively. Do you think personally you came out with a more attacking mindset here tonight?
Definitely. I mean, each game you try to have the same mindset, going to games being aggressive, offense and defensively wise. So I'm just trying to keep that up and then just going to halftime, make some adjustments on the team wise, and then just come out stronger in the second half.
With Zylan being out from the Breakers tonight, I saw early on in the first half you were looking inside at Big Sauce. Was that a strategy, knowing that you guys were bigger on both ends of the floor tonight?
Definitely. I mean, we go into each game kind of with that mindset just because we feel like we have some of the best bigs in the league. So, I mean, we just come out with the same game plan and attack inside and work our way out.
Thank you so much for your time, and go get it in this second half.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He plays up-tempo, he talks up-tempo, he's doing it all here. Will Cummings there with Beck Cole. We've got a special feature on Mody Mayo, head coach of the New Zealand Breakers, coming your way. It's half-time at John Cain Arena, and it's the Phoenix 60, New Zealand 48.
Obviously very disappointed. This hurts deeply. Emotions immediately after that linger for a significant amount of time are not good. We're not in this business for second place. You want to be the best when the chips are on the table, and we weren't. So there's a lot of lessons to learn and a lot of things that we want to do better. And I don't take any of it for granted. Grand Finals Game 4 was the loudest I've ever heard Spark. And I was really happy that we were able to perform in a way that made them proud. I just think now we need to do it all over again. We start the same like everyone else, so we're not one game away, we're a full season away. And hopefully we do things the right way and get a chance.
We love you, Modi. If he recruits you, he's special, man. He's one of a kind. I love you, Mo. Good job, man. I'm sorry. I love you, man. I love you too, Mo. JB.
Do you want the truth about this? So I tried to push people really hard. And I think you can't push people if there's not a relationship to fall on. So we build up a lot of equity into the relationship, into caring about them as people in order to be able to support them and push them in the right way for them to be kind of the best version that they can be. The other side of it is that I'm lucky enough to coach really, really good people. And it's fun to get to know them, and it's fun to have a relationship. And these relationships are what is real. You win a game, you lose a game, you win a championship, you lose a championship, but probably gonna be close with them forever. So it means a lot. I'm very optimistic about the guys that we have. We wanted to address certain things. There's a few things that I felt we needed to do differently to give us a better chance. And I think that the guys we signed give us this opportunity.
He's such a great character, Modi Mayo, as we welcome you back to the Hungry Jacks NBL half-time here. And look, he's done such a great job. His rookie season took New Zealand from bottom to second. He was runner-up and coach of the year. I thought he perhaps was the coach of the year. And not forgetting they led Sydney 1-0 in that grand final series, Jenna.
Yeah, it was such a great final series last year, and I love Modi as a coach, and I loved hearing him talk about the relationships that he makes with his players, and you can really see that he brings the best out of them, and yeah, he's a terrific coach.
Emotional feature that, and again, a lot of people see Modi Mayo on the sidelines and think, geez, it'd be tough to play for, but he was the main reason Will McDowell-White wanted to stay at the Breakers, and you can see Jarrell Brantley screaming into a post-game press conference saying love you, and those relationships go a long way, but those relationships will allow him to be hard on his players, and there's a reason why everyone wants to play for him over in New Zealand.
He's going to have to earn his money tonight because the New Zealand Breakers have got their hands full here. We'll take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights, and Gary Brown really turned it on in that second quarter. He had 10 in that second quarter for 16 at half-time to lead all scorers.
He was super impressive and had his N1 mixtape moves going in that first half, and yeah, he got me out of my seat for a few of those moves that he did. He's your favourite, Hulls.
I mean, literally just on a playground. I mean, that is, well, it did mention maybe away with the travel, but this is just playground stuff. He's just having fun with it out there, and they are absolutely flying. They put the ball in his hand. Does have a tendency to over-dribble at times, but when he's making plays like that and he's dishing the rock, good things happen. He's got 4 assists in the first half, and he's just fun to watch. And we have a look at his Blackmore shot chart, and it's really positive. He's only taken the 6 shots, but it's everything else that he's set up. And I said he's only got 4 assists. He probably should have a couple more. Some people have missed some open shots as well. But when Gary Brown is playing like this, unselfishly, but making the right read, the Phoenix are at their best.
And Alan Williams really has created problems for the New Zealand Breakers as well. Obviously, they're undersized. No Zylan Cheatham for the Breakers here. And, well, Big Sauce has been big time.
He really has. He's been going to his strengths. They've been getting him inside on those mismatches. He's got his floater game going. He's got great touch. He did miss one.
Sorry.
Commentator's curse on that one. But he's been terrific. And, yeah, he finishes strong, get a few of those N1s, and he's playing tough.
And they tried to go to a 2-3 zone to stop all the presence down low from the Phoenix, and it doesn't matter. He got that floater, so he kind of just busts up the zone when he gets there. Right there, you flash to the middle, and Alan Williams, that is a layup for him. So 12 points, 7 rebounds. He did have 3 offensive rebounds in the same possession to himself, so he does like to pad his stats a little bit, but well on track to another double-double, which is what he does best.
Phoenix have 13 rebounds as a team. He's got 7 of them at the moment, and they've got a 12-point buffer. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 60, lead New Zealand 48. We've got more for you from John Kane Arena, or the Fire Pit, as the Phoenix like to call it, right after this. Thanks for sharing your Saturday night with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. No better place to be on a Saturday evening in Melbourne than at John Cain Arena when the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are turning it on. Mark Philippoussis is in the house. He's certainly there enjoying the hoops from close range, as is Prime Train. I think he's a very popular man on Instagram, Pete Hooley, and one of your closest besties.
Oh, no, with TikTok, he's a legend. Oh, speaking of legends, we just saw it for an interview that the GOAT LJ going around again. Unbelievable. Can't wait to see her suiting up.
She said she's not thinking about the Paris Olympics, but the way she played at the World Cup, I don't know why she wouldn't be thinking of the Paris Olympics.
That'd be a fallacy, surely, Jenna. She's lying there.
Smoke screen, Jenna,
has to be thinking.
She has to be thinking about it. I also must say it's the fittest I have seen her since about the Athens Olympics. She looks great. She's been working hard, so I'm really excited to see her play this WNBL season.
Get to a game if you can. Signet WNBL kicks off next Wednesday. We're underway here in the second half. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix with a possession arrow. They've led exclusively since Mitch Creek scored the first 2 points of the game. Moller for Williams. Shot clock to 10 for the Phoenix. Nothing on offer in terms of a pass for Alan Williams, so he said, I'll just score it myself. He's got 14 now.
And they've gone back to the small starting lineup that Mayo originally wanted. And again, you'd say that's great off-ball defense because everybody stayed home. But unfortunately for Anthony Lamb, we keep saying it, it would sound like a broken record, but Alan Williams is just not going to miss too many of those. You're taking a couple of steps back because you're trying to play in the passing lanes. You're kind of trying to deter where that pass could go, but you let him take one dribble to get below the free throw line, and he's money.
Bit of a communication breakdown on that on-ball screen. Phoenix players are talking about
And I'm sure that's what Mike Kelly was saying at halftime. Like, terrific job on the offensive end. I mean, they're second in the league in scoring at 92 points per game. Well on track to eclipse that. But defensively, to still give up that many in a half is not where the Phoenix want to be at.
Good to see Isaiah Liafa getting back to form into double figures now. 10 points on 2 of 2, plus 4 of 4 from the stripe. Was none of 1 and 0 assists in 15 minutes on Thursday night against Adelaide. Here he is with grabbing the rebound.
I don't like that shot from Gary Brown because we highlighted at halftime all of his success was, yes, he was dribbling a lot, but he was making plays and then came at the right time of the shot clock or when they were trying to have a transition bucket. You just had 2 free throws from the Breakers. You want to get a good look down the other end.
Red numbers on the shot clock as Abercrombie forces one off the window.
And this is when Phoenix are best. They get stops and then they're out and running, get it through hands. Got a mismatch down here.
Double team arrive. They swing the ball to the open man. It's Craig Moller. His 3 wouldn't fit. Delaney up the floor quickly. Abercrombie slated against Moller. Chance for Liafa. Puts it on the deck, pulls up, and comes up with the finishing touches as well. In fact, Marker Jackson Cartwright it was.
Only a 10-point game. As poor as New Zealand have been defensively, when they get to that on-ball screen, Jenna, they're having a lot of success.
The pass picked off there. Well done, Delaney. Jackson Cartwright in support. Delaney may not need any help at the moment. Goes solo, but just couldn't finish it. So Brown looks inside.
Anthony Lamb doesn't like it, but it looked like it was there. Anytime you get those little hands trapped around the waist to try and get in front, to front the post, this is what happens when you're undersized.
I was on it, and he had his foot above the line.
I don't think Lamb likes defending Williams at all.
Oh, it wouldn't be nice, would it? When, okay, we're going to change something, you've got to play the centre position, so it's right here. Oh.
I'll watch for that play.
To be honest, there wasn't a whole lot in it on that replay.
So Alan Williams isolated here against Lamb, takes him on and from close range adds to his tally. So 16 to go with 8 rebounds now for Alan Williams.
And a delay game warning there. So yes, when you headbutt the ball after scoring, it does mean you get a delay game warning.
Just a bit of fun.
Not if he does it again.
No, it won't be.
That won't be fun for Mike Kelly.
For the Breakers. Down 12 here. In a brave fight. Jackson Cartwright put it on the deck, found some room. There's Delaney working baseline up against Alan Williams. Whistle on the play. Foul going to be called on Williams. It's going to be his first personal.
I'm not sure if you heard of him. Monty Mayo after the scoring down the line said floppy one. They want to get that ball screen. the high ball screen to get Alan Williams either guarding Parker Jackson-Cup right there. That is delay game warning, and this is what Alan Williams
70 for two.
wanted challenged. Wasn't happy with it. It's interesting that you go straight and say, both my hands are up, when one hand was on the hip.
And the other was on his arm.
Yeah.
They were both straight up, though.
Oh, hook around. Why didn't you look like you got it around you, but I just saw it come out, all right?
So Findalani to the free throw line. Averaging 14 points a game this season. Been good from deep as well at 50%. And the margin cut to 10 once more. So 2.5 played here in the second half. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who are all well at the start of the game, they're looking to build a little bit more. Mitch Creek into double figures. So they've got 4 players in double figures now. They appear to have all the answers so far.
You'll see with all of Phoenix's wins, they've got a real spread of scorers, and that's exactly what's happening tonight. When you have 4, 5, 6 players in double figures, it's going to be really hard to lose on the night.
It's a depth that few teams can match. Melbourne, obviously, have got good depth in their lineup. Here's Williams, push shot, short-armed it. Abercrombie grabs the board.
One may have seen enough of the undersized, trying to bring in Mango Mathiang. That's going to be a trouble. Right of bounds.
What's up, Mango?
It's a Harvey Norman replay, and Tom Abercrombie had the right idea. He was trying to get underneath the screen and quickly get back up, but Alan Williams didn't even set the screen. So Tom Abercrombie's just going to stay attached.
So 3.5 played in the third. Cummings hands over to Moller.
3-2 zone now. They're showing everything.
He's junking it up. Back to Will Cummings. He looked for the penetration, forced into a tough shot and came up empty, and a chance now for Liapa and the Breakers. He wants to go to work quickly. Overdid it off the glass, though. Big Sauce has grabbed his 9th rebound. As Mitch Creek measures the triple and knocks down back-to-back threes here to expand this margin out to 16. Timeout, Modi Mayo and the New Zealand Breakers. Snooze timeout, and they need it at the moment.
There was 4 Breakers players back, and Mitch Creek just said, you know what, I just hit one, I'm going to go again. Knocked that one down. And the Phoenix are rolling.
13 in the game for Mitch Creek on 5 of 7 shooting. And celebrities in the house, as we told you. Sitting in the pumped by Reebok seats tonight is none other than Mark Philippoussis. Here he is with Beck Cole.
Mark, we're right across the road from where you played in several Aussie Opens. How does it feel to be in a similar atmosphere here at John Cain Arena?
Yeah, it's great to see the basketball here in John Cain Arena. In a couple of months, we'll be seeing the tennis, but we've got some amazing seats thanks to Reebok, and we're really enjoying it. So it's a great atmosphere, and my son's here with me. So.
Speaking of your son, is he into his basketball?
He's a basketball player. That's what he does all day. Doesn't play tennis. And I'm happy about it because I love the sport, and he does. Yeah.
Well, we might have a future Phoenix or Breakers on our hand. One last question. I heard your best shot was your one-handed backhand. What's your best shot on the court? Jump shot, three-pointer, or a slam dunk?
I wish I could slam dunk. I try and hit threes. They definitely don't go in, but I love playing.
Thanks for chatting with us, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you so much.
Super competitor Mark Philippoussis in the pumped by Reebok seats at John Cain Arena tonight. Here with Beck Cole. Looking handy yourself, Beck Cole. Championship winner with the Southside Flyers. And had some excellent games at 3x3 for Australia. But right now, the Breakers are game with their hands full. Down 16. 4 minutes played in the third. It's Will McDowell-White, hands over Lamb, goes back to McDowell-White, puts it on the deck, down to the baseline, couldn't finish it. Tipping wouldn't work for Mathiang initially, and should have done a little bit better with a second attempt. Still yet to score in the game, Big Mango, and none of 2 shooting. The quick release at the other end is showing them how to do it. As the Phoenix knocks down another 3, and Moller hits the deck as well.
Blue 7, block off the ball, baseline play.
Will McDowell-White called for the foul.
Again, let's have another look at this, because they get the ball back here, the Phoenix. Firstly, welcome to Gary Brown's Playground. Still continues in the second half. But it was a foul off the ball. There it is. Will McDowell-White with the hip and shoulder to Craig Moller.
I think that's what his dad used to do on the footy field.
Absolutely.
Shout out to his dad, Darryl, 3-time premiership player with Brisbane. That was a decent hip and shoulder there.
He's still running around in some local competitions, Will tells me.
And probably killing him. Here's Mitch Creek from close range, gets the 2, chance at a 3-point play, and he's enjoying it, Mitch.
Well, they're just having a field day right now. They're celebrating, they're playing loose.
They just look like they're having fun out there. They're playing really tough defense, and then they're getting out and running, using each other. They've got, how many, 12 assists now as a team.
That's their season average. With 15 minutes to go in the game, they're at their season average. They are last in the league in assists at 12. The Kings are at 22, so there's a big discrepancy there. But when they're sharing the ball, they're a completely different outfit.
Game-high 22-point lead here. Phoenix putting the clamps on New Zealand, who have scored just 6 points here in 5 minutes of term number 3. Arthur has got 2 of those 6. Ball comes back to him. Red numbers on the shot clock. He went back a second and the ball dislodged there. Active hands again from Gary Brown.
The last couple of games, Phoenix have been terrific in this third quarter. I don't know what Mike says to them at halftime, but they always come out and really have a lot of energy and play really well together, and it's continued on in this game today.
Well, won their last 10 third quarters at home. Now, I know Mike can't take all the credit for that, given that they've only played the 3 home games this season. Lost one, but coming off that 23-point win against Brisbane and the 17-point win against Adelaide, coming into this game arguably the best informed team in the competition.
Oh, he's back to the third quarter time as Ben Monty Mayo was open. Give him credit, he was ready to launch.
He is in the black, similar to the
just ready to
Phoenix
roll.
uniform.
And I will cut him some slack. Monty Mayo, who does spend a little bit of time on the floor, was actually in his right spot there. He wasn't on the floor ready to catch and shoot.
Inside the last 5 minutes of the third, McDowell White pulls up. Shot wouldn't work there for Cam Glidden.
But they're just making everything so contested. Making New Zealand have to work for everything.
Ben Air goes back to Mitch Creek. He goes back in the Ben Air direction. His quick release and he knocks it down. Ben Air now 3 of 3 from long range. Make that 2 of 2 from long range.
And 14 of 19 on the season.
The shooting percentages for Phoenix this game, 65% from the field, 62% from the three-point line, 92% from the free throw line.
Any team that shoots like that is probably going to be leading a game. That's just absurd numbers. Alan Williams has already got a double-double, 16 and 11.
And the Breakers still with this drought as well in terms of their points, just 6 points in this quarter. We played over 6 minutes. Now White elects to fire from long range. This time can't connect. Mitch Creek grabs the rebound. It's the third board for Mitch Creek. He's got 16 points though, including 9 in this quarter. Out of the 19 the Phoenix have come up with. So been a focal point. Shot clock to single digits here as he goes to Alan Williams. Puts it on the deck. Forced into a tough shot there. Late whistle. Free throws to come now for Alan Williams. Foul on Mango Mathiang. Going to be his first personal.
And you do expect this to take some time for the Breakers to try and figure out when you lose such a key piece on in the same round. So it's not like this happened last week and you've had a week to try and figure out, okay, this is our starting 5. These are the couple of subs we make in the first quarter. This is the way we want to play. You take out one of their key recruits in the off-season so abruptly, it's so hard to adjust to on the fly without some significant practice time to understand who's going to play well and what role is going to change. And we've on the flip side, we've seen that happen in the last 3-4 years for the Phoenix when everyone's healthy for a couple of weeks straight, they would look really good since they've entered the NBL, but they've had key guys come in and out, everyone's role changes, and Jenna, if you're a role player like the Breakers have to go through now, and your role is, okay, I'm spot up threes, I'm going to lock up on defense. Zion Cheatham goes out, okay, I need to now be an offensive threat. It takes away from what role you do well until they bring someone in, and then you go back to, it's hard.
It is hard, but these bench players also have to use this as an opportunity for them and show what they can do so that they can have a bigger role in the team. This is their time to shine, and at the moment, they're not showing enough for my liking, and I don't think Modi would be liking it either.
Moller knocks down his second field goal as we go courtside to Beck Cole.
I spoke with Parker earlier before the game, and he was saying it wasn't just one man who needed to step up tonight. It needed to be a collective team effort. So, as you said, especially on the defensive end, losing Zylan has been a key factor in them not getting those extra stops, rebounds, deflections, and just changing shots. So, as you can see, they've dropped into a zone now. So, hopefully, this can help them get some stops.
Creek back to air, shot clock to 7. Fires a tough one. And out of court, New Zealand will get the ball.
And we have spoken a lot about how small the Breakers have played tonight. And at one point, it looked like their starting five was going to be, besides obviously the guards, the Finn Delaney, Zylan Cheatham, Mango Mathiang look like. It's a formidable trio to go up against defensively. And Parker Jackson-Cartwright, I know he's small, but leading the league in steals at over 3 per game, so he's going to get his hand in there. He's tough to try and get past because of how quick he is.
It's also easier for him to get those steals when he knows he has that formidable lineup behind him.
For sure.
Without that, he needs to play a bit more conservative so he can't get beat.
And that's when I go back to that role player, of your roles changing of he can't afford to do that necessarily now, because you look at, if you go for a steal, you don't get it. Say it's on Mitch Creek or Gary Brown, they're getting downhill. Instead of them having to try and score over a Zylan Cheatham or Finn Delaney who's out of position, it's Anthony Lamb coming across. It's somebody else, Kent Good, who's just not normally there.
Don't try and step under him, all right?
Done a good job of getting to the free throw line as well, Parker Jackson-Cartwright. 8 of 10 so far. And adding to that tally now, so he's up to 20, his season average, which is 6th in the competition at 20 a game. They're down 21, a little over 2 minutes out from three-quarter time. Started this quarter with the Phoenix up by 12. Ben Air off the mark. Mathiang grabs the rebound. And here's Jackson-Cartwright, feeding Stavicius, but he just lost control of it. Had it spent before he controlled it. And they turn the ball over for the 10th time in the game, New Zealand. Likewise, the Phoenix has 10 in that category. Loose ball scramble here. Well done by Jackson-Cartwright to get after the loose ball. Here's again, putting it on the deck, drawing a foul on Gak and getting to the free throw line once more.
He's really been the shining light for New Zealand. He's really crafty getting downhill. He's used that really effectively tonight. He's up to 22 points, and as you said, 9 of 11 from the free throw line. So he's really putting pressure on the ring.
Timeout called here as we get another look at Parker Jackson-Cartwright adding to his tally now with 22. Pre-game, we spoke to Mitch Creek about any advice he might have for his younger self.
I would have told myself to dream a little bigger, believe in myself more, and slow down. I think there was a lot of times where other people's dreams for myself were a lot bigger than mine. I really believe that I never truly slowed down enough to care for myself. I was kind of just running around experiencing the world 100 miles an hour. People somewhat see that to be the case even now, but it's the complete opposite. They see some of the stuff I do and I ride or I jump out of planes, and that's kind of the focus of people's topics. And it's really blasé and stupid for them to think that, because they don't understand why. It's like me doing yoga or meditating, breath work. I get the same feeling of alignment and from those things as well, because it's about fine-tuned detail, feeling the body and mind. So I think I never did that back then, and I think it would have put me in a much better position at this part of my life, at this junction I'm kind of in at the moment, is understanding that there's a lot more than just basketball.
Thinking about the game a lot more deeply these days. What about you, Jenna? What would you tell your younger self?
Oh, gosh. Just quickly on Mitch, I think that's really insightful, what he just said, and I think that does come with maturity. He's clearly thought a lot about his growth as a person, and I think that's really showing on court, and he is shining this year for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
He sure is. 16 points, 6 of 8 shooting here in this one.
I tell myself to stock up on those fizzes. You know the fizzes? I used to get them at the footy canteen for 20 cents. They're $1 now. We're talking about coffees being expensive. We're talking about inflations. It's killing me, Jenna.
Fantastic, Pete. Love it. Single digits on the shot clock here for the Phoenix. Sun stuck. Gak stayed with it, though, and drew a foul and is off to the free throw line.
Let's go,
Mangan Mathiang's one whose role is going to have to increase, not necessarily production-wise and scoring the ball, but the defensive presence. He's got the length, he's got the athleticism to be a real nightmare for teams when they get in the paint. And it's a guy that if you park Jackson Cairo, we talk about how he loves to go for steals, how quick he is. You would feel a lot better in doing that when you know you've got Mangan Mathiang contesting at the rim and doing it every single time down the floor. But you do expect New Zealand to be on the hunt for a replacement for Zion, which is unfortunate because they just brought in Anthony Lamb with Justinian Jessup going out. To have to try and find someone else twice in the matter of weeks is really hard to do, considering they just came back from the States.
20-point ball game, a little over a minute out from three-quarter time. Jackson Cartwright once more, this time off the mark. Kenyon grabs the rebound. Chance for the Phoenix to expand the margin here. Cummings feeds Bay. He's off the mark. To find his rhythm in the NBL this season, Reece Bay. And here's Finn Delaney working hard and being rewarded with the 2. So he adds to his tally now with 13 in the game.
They're not out of it. 66 in 3 quarters is a very competitive score. It's just they've got to get stops. I think 84 is the final game score.
Saw Illawarra score 84 and win on Thursday night against Cairns. As Vague fires unsuccessfully again. Parker Jackson Cartwright was quickly up the floor, ball knocked down out of court.
I got you, mate. I got you, Mega.
24-18 in this quarter. So they've been able to build a little bit toward the end of this term. On a 12-4 run here at the moment, the New Zealand Breakers with some respectability back into it. Down by as many as 26. Now White puts a shoulder down from close range, adds to his tally now with 8 in the game.
Like to see him do that more. I think he's settled a little bit and he's also been passive on others.
That was an aggressive
Wasn't
take.
His gag in the paint, couldn't finish it, trying to get his own rebound. And the chance for Glidden from three-quarter court is going to be short, but we turn for home with a quarter to play, and it is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix enjoying a 16-point buffer. With 1 quarter to play, the Phoenix 84, the Breakers 68. Here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix impressive at home once more. This time against the New Zealand Breakers. They led by 10 at quarter time, by 12 at half time. It's up to 16 with 1 quarter to play. Mitch Creek with 9 of his 16 in the third quarter. 84-68 is the equation. And full credit to the New Zealand Breakers. They stuck to their guns here. Undermanned, no Zylan Cheatham, who was injured on Thursday night in the loss to Adelaide by 12 points. They keep making runs at the Phoenix. And that's what they need to do here at the start of the fourth. Will McDowell-White against Alan Williams, just showing him some tricks now down to the baseline. Williams did well to recover. Forced him into a tough shot. Mitch Creek, though, pass misses the target. Turnover number 12 for the Phoenix. New Zealand has 10 in that category.
They did really well. This could have been a 25-point game at three-quarter time. Wasn't those last couple of minutes from New Zealand. 16 is still manageable. Again, 68 points isn't the issue. Defensively, giving up 84.
Here's McDowell-White exploring once more, adding to his tally. He's now into double figures. 10 points. Joins Liafa, Delaney and Jackson Cartwright.
Sometimes you can get stuck in a mindset where you don't want to have to continue to beat that guy, but if you're Will McDowell and you're the Breakers, run it again. Run it again until the defense changes and makes you have to do something else.
Shot clock to red numbers. Tarami gives it up to Will Cummings. Hasn't scored since half-time, Will Cummings. This is a tough one. It's off the mark. Well, the Breakers get another stop as Glidden hands over. This is Lamb. Oh, McDowell-White. They need to get more out of Lamb. They go to Mathiang, who comes up with his first score in the game.
And he was able to get that pass because of his previous two really aggressive drives. So the defense had to come to him, and then he's got his preference, which is to pass, and a beautiful layup by Mengo.
Tough shot wouldn't work for Will Cummings. And again, the Breakers put a stop to it. Close to within 12 here with 4 unanswered points to start this quarter. And free throws to add to the tally now. So, South Melbourne Phoenix just caught napping here at the start of the last quarter as we go courtside to Beck Cole.
As you can see, the Breakers have just got 3 stops in a row. Listening to Coach Modi in the timeout, they wanted to be in that 2-3 zone. And when Coach Modi yelled out a code word, and I'll leave that for a surprise, they really want to go attack, get steals, and be aggressive. And I think that's been key for them in the start of this fourth quarter.
I'm not sure about the code word being yelled from it. You could have maybe the third pass. A lot of teams like to do that after 3 passes. Okay, we're going from a zone to a man-to-man, or they like to just go trap.
So the margin cut to 11 here. 5 unanswered points in 90 seconds to start this final quarter. Looking for another stop here as well, the New Zealand Breakers in the corner. This is Will Cummings. He's off the mark. Williams grabs the offensive rebound, and the putback is off the front of the rim as well. Got his own rebound and eventually puts a lid on too.
Well, they needed that. The Breakers get that, and all of a sudden they could be within single digits, but this game is still on.
Breakers have not won the last quarter all season, but they're trying to change that here. Mathiang adds to his tally.
I'm calling that. I'm calling 5 down here. That's not a foul.
Margin 11. It was as big as 26 during the third quarter. It's been in double figures since the opening quarter for the Phoenix. But they still have some work to do here. So the shot clock works to 10. Brown hands over. Takes on Tarangi. Shut down by Mathiang.
That's what we called for.
Great defensive effort, and now a chance for them at the offensive end. Will McDowell-White.
Space the floor if you're shooters. If you can, good. Have your feet set.
McDowell-White exploring, drawing a foul, going to be called on Williams. So it's his 3rd personal.
Like 15. Okay, let's go. Let's line up. 2 shots, blue.
That's what he's needed to do, Mango Mathiang. Just wall up. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just use that length and athleticism. The other end. I think we might get a coach's challenge. He asked for it, Jenner. He's going to get it.
Timeout. Southeast Melbourne.
Timeout called. 86-75 is the equation.
Don't think he actually ended up challenging in the end. Got to talk out of it.
Not.
It looked like it was clear as day. Again, that's just I've never seen a player say they were wrong.
I would never foul.
Ever.
Challenge everything.
This is a big couple of minutes here. New Zealand have done really well to take this back, and no surprise, it's been on the back of just getting stops.
And then Will McDowell-White doing Will McDowell-White things.
What does this mean?
Finally being aggressive on his scores, and then he's got his dishes as well.
A 7-2 run to start the fourth quarter here by the New Zealand Breakers has them breathing down the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix neck. Of course, this is the first of 2 games on a Saturday night in the Hungry Jacks NBL. After this one, we're heading to far north Queensland to the Cairns Taipans, taking on the Sydney Kings. Always entertaining, the Taipans, and the Sydney Kings having a good time with it as well. So that's coming directly after this game. Look forward to that.
DJ Hogue, returning to his former team. He said he's expecting a couple of boos, but he said he's got nothing but love for the Cairns faithful. Didn't challenge in the end, Alan Williams, although anytime there's a whistle, he asks for it immediately, but here we go. It is a single-digit ball game.
For the first time since early in the second quarter, they've got it under 10, the Breakers.
Led by 26 points in the third quarter.
And the Phoenix just 2 points here in 3 minutes of the last quarter.
I'll tell you what, that's how you know that the foul has been committed. When Tom Abercrombie there, instead of asking for a challenge, I think he's just frustrated that he didn't get away with it.
Would you like to listen or would you like a warning straight up? I would love to listen. Okay, if you're up on the line, I can't see the corner, I can't referee.
Okay, I'll try, but I'm also coaching my team and I'm in my area. Okay, I didn't ignore you, I'm coaching.
I love that interaction. That's great. Both passionate about their jobs, as they should be.
Gary Brown off the mark, so the shooting woes continue for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and Breakers will get it back here. They're 1 of 8 from the field in this quarter, Phoenix.
I nearly had the door slammed shut in that third quarter, but the door is ajar. A good set here from the Breakers, and if I'm running another high pick and roll just like this, I'm getting Will McDowell-White just like that.
Hard to the rim from close range, just couldn't finish it off, and Mathiang can only succeed in knocking it down out of court. Since they had that 26-point lead with 3.5 to play in the third, the Phoenix, it's 23-6. New Zealand bracketed across three-quarter time.
Will McDowell-White's going to dunk that. He had a dunk to the candidate on this floor down the other end against this team a couple of seasons ago.
So tick over 3 minutes played in the final quarter, and they desperately need a bucket. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix finally get one. Comes through the agency there of Gary Brown.
On 2.
15 for him. At 10 at half-time. Here's McDowell-White. He's got better the longer the game has gone. He's got problems here, though. Double team, trying to find a passing lane. Mathiang wraparound play, baseline. It's Finn Delaney who draws contact, and he goes to the free throw line.
How did Will McDowell-White see Mathiang there?
I don't think he did. I think that was love.
I think it was as well, a little bit as well. I mean, talking about court. Oh, he saw it right there. He had a quick little look before that, and then just said he's got to be there and just on the money. I'll say he meant it.
13 foul on Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in this final quarter. Will Cummings has got 4 personal fouls now. Parker Jackson Cartwright also playing with 4 fouls. And a 9-point ball game with 6 minutes to play. So we weren't expecting that when the margin was out to 26 during the third. Foul called on the Breakers, their second team foul in this quarter. Full credit to them for their fight back, doing it underman. Simon Cheatham.
Melbourne doing it. Anthony Lamb hasn't been on for a while. He's only played the 17 minutes, got the 4 points, coming off a 25-point game. A lot of people expected him to be their main contributor without Cheatham.
Brown gives it up to Moller from the elbow. He banks too high.
Not how he drew it up.
So they keep holding New Zealand at arm's length here. Marching back into double digits.
I always think there's a method to the madness, and obviously we saw a lot of subs in that first half, and Modi's finally found that lineup that he likes. They're really good on the defensive end. They're getting out. They're being aggressive. They've got those traps on the sideline. We've got Mango, who's really doing some rim protection, and then they're running and pushing in the offensive.
And what is probably not talking about enough, Tom Abercrombie is the top of this zone that's going to trap. So you've got his length and athleticism, and Cam Glidden is playing on the other side. So it is a funky style of zone and trapping defense, but it's working.
Credit to Matt Kenyon to win that back then after the Breakers had stolen it. Here's Creek in the paint. Tough shot. Couldn't get it done. And foul going to be called on the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix here. It's on Mitch Creek, so it's going to be his third personal. It's like a fourth team foul on the Phoenix in this term. With over 5 minutes to play, that becomes an issue.
Well, it does, and I've got a feeling Mike Kelly rolled out the starters for this fourth quarter to try and push this lead out and get this game over and done with. That's not been the case, so now they're going to have to play through this.
Now we see Phoenix going with the real small ball.
This is why, because they've just dominated in this aspect. Letting Will McDowell-White switch, get to where he wants.
Now called on Ben Air. Free throws to come now for Will McDowell-White. He's already scored 6 points in this quarter. Now that's 5 fouls on the Phoenix here with 5 minutes to play.
Oh, this game on. That could, I was just about to say they could not be in a better position, and that would be false. But they are in a very good position considering where they could have been down 26 in the third quarter.
And we remind you that the Breakers are doing this without Parker Jackson-Cartwright, who's sitting at the moment with 23 points and 4 fouls, and without much input coming from Anthony Lamb, who's got 4 points on the game and hasn't scored since half-time. So Abercrombie and Delaney, the Kiwis, along with Cam Glidden, Will McDowell-White, a couple of Isaacs, and Ingo Mathiang out there. And that looks like it's good signs for Hungry Jacks fans, because the code word is tall. Open up the NBL app and help yourself to a free cheeseburger. Courtesy of Will McDowell-White. From close range, Kenyon stayed with it and got it done. And Matt Kenyon eases the situation with his first score in the game for the Phoenix. That's a 4-point turnaround. McDowell-White disappointed with free throws. Here he is pushing Creek out of the way, and with a left hand couldn't convert. Moller aggressively snatches the rebound. They had 53 points on the board with 4.5 to play in the first half, the Phoenix. They haven't been able to keep that momentum going in the second half, though. And we'll credit New Zealand Breakers, and they've been able just to stall the Phoenix here. And timeout called by Modi Mayo. 4:11 left on the clock. Margin is 11. And a snooze timeout for them. A really good effort from them. The way that they've fought their way back into this.
Get in there and be focused. Tell me, are you good or you need one? We're over scrambling against the zone. Stay low. Don't come out. Just talk on the high post. Should always be somebody on the high post. Stay with Creek. You got it? On offense. We're going with ear. If they stay small like this, we're going with ear. You attack. If you don't have it, oh, they're still small. Cam, I want you to stay here on the ear. Nobody in the paint. And nobody in the paint. I'll tell you who to bring. Attack. Finn. Hammer for Cam. And then cut on the net. Every rebound. Drive it. Keep going with the net if you don't have it.
Modi Mayo certainly earning his money here tonight. And as you mentioned, Cairns against Sydney is coming your way from 8 o'clock at Eastern. Sydney Kings in the house, and the Taipans will be serving it up to them as well. DJ Hogue returns. And there he is with a smile on his face. See, it's all coming your way a little later here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Round 5 continuing. Plenty to go here, though. A tick over 4 minutes left on the clock. Gently cut to 11. Creek in traffic. Moller and now Kenyon. Wanted Mitch Creek, and eventually they got it to him. Now it's going to be called Mathiang here.
Didn't have to do it. Mango Mathiang did his job to make Mitch Creek make that catch tough, but you don't have to do that extra bit at the end. And to be honest, if you are Mango Mathiang, you're probably wanting Mitch Creek to catch that on the block and try and power through you rather than letting face up on the three if he catches it and then get downhill and put the ball on the floor. That's not where he's going to be at his best.
Just 8 points in this quarter for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They had 31 in the first quarter and 60 at half-time. So 60 in the first half, 32 since then for the Phoenix. They defer outside, red numbers on the shot clock. Can't get it done. Moller got a piece of it. It spills to Mitch Creek, who adds 2 from close range. He's got 18 in the game.
That can't happen. New Zealand, you've got Mango Mathiang out there, and it's well done from Moller. Moller kept that alive. Mitch Creek was the benefit.
Foul called, so free throws to come here again now for Parker Jackson Cartwright. He's back onto the floor. They nursed him through this, playing with those 4 fouls. And foul's going to be called on Will Cummings. So that's going to be 5 for Cummings, and he is out of the game for the 3rd time this season. He's fouled out 3 times this season, Will Cummings, in 8 games. Keanu Pinder's fouled out 3 times as well, and they are the most. Cummings out of the game. He sits down with 16 points, and he had all of those in the first half. And Parker Jackson Cartwright is going to the free throw line now. I saw Patrick Miller from the Taipans take 14 free throws, a season high against Illawarra on Thursday night. And now Parker Jackson Cartwright has taken 14 free throws in this game to equal that stat, and he's hit 12 of them in his 25 points. It's been terrific. He's going to bring a lot to the table here. And Phoenix forced into an error once more. And speak of the devil, Cartwright feeds the ball outside. Man, that's not a good night of it. Hence Moller. Can't afford to foul here, the Phoenix. They forced him into a tough shot, and he wasn't able to convert there.
He's got away with a double duel there, I think. Lamb, because he dribbled it, trying to get his balance ready to shoot the 3. He didn't eventuate, and then Mathiang went to set a screen. He put the ball on the floor again.
So a little over 3 minutes out. Still plenty of time for the Breakers to work with here. And they've shown a lot of resilience against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team who has been hot and cold. It's been a criticism of them as the 3 ball, the bottom of the net for Finn Delaney. 18 now for Finn Delaney. Only Parker Jackson Cartwright with 25 has more for New Zealand. Margin at 8. Hasn't been this close since the opening quarter.
Mayo doesn't like that foul, but we have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Jackson Cartwright well defended by Mitch Creek, and Finn Delaney was just ready to tee off. Pretty well contested by Matt Kenny, and didn't matter. But right now, sends Craig Moller to the line. He's 4 of 8 on the season. So I wonder about it took Tom Abercrombie out. He didn't like the foul, but
I really think Craig Moller's going to be an X factor for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix this year. He's averaging 6 points and 5 rebounds. Had 7 and 7 in 24 minutes in the win against Brisbane. Can do a lot of things and bring a lot to the table.
Well, he's one of those guys you throw it out there right now. He's a 3-and-D type player. He's still trying to find that consistent shot, but defensively he's been terrific, and he's going to get you extra opportunities on the offensive glass.
I think he does a lot of those things that don't show up on the stat sheet that coaches love. They make your team better by being out there.
Yep. That's why he's part of the starting lineup.
Oh, Finn.
Delaney does it again. He's up to 21.
7-point ball game. This was 26 points midway through the 3rd.
Haven't seen the margin this close since the first 5 minutes of the game. So the first 5 and the last 5.
That's when McDowell White's night done. That's his 5th foul.
5 fouls.
So McDowell White fouls out for the first time this season. It's been an abbreviated season, obviously, for the Breakers. Just their 5th game of the season. McDowell White fouls out. Only fouled out once for the entire season last season. McDowell White. And he's been influential here.
Mitch Creek's had his problems at the line this season. The last couple of games have been better, but he's 19 of 34.
So Dow White, 14 points, 3 assists for him after a slow start. 6 in this last quarter. Mitch Creek eases the situation for the Phoenix somewhat. Still more than 2 minutes to play though. Fans finding their voice as well. As Marker Jackson Cartwright works to the baseline, adds another 2. He's got 27 points in the game to go with a game-high 7 assists as well.
Just electrifying. How quick that was as well. Because the Phoenix want to take time off the clock. New Zealand want to go quickly.
Shot clock to 10. This is Gary Brown firing the 3. Couldn't get it done. Mathiang the rebound. Breakers off and running. Quickly up the floor, Abercrombie back to Parker Jackson Cartwright, who went to baseline once more. Now he's got 29 and the margin has been cut to 5.
Oh my.
Well, this has been a tremendous fight back from the New Zealand Breakers. Down 26 in the third. In down double figures in each of the 4 quarters.
Oh, wow.
And they get the ball to Gary Brown.
Well, this zone has been tremendous. And again, this is the flip side of, are you trying to match the small ball? They've been small ball for the last 4 minutes because that's the way the Breakers were playing for a while. But then Modimayo Pomango Mathiang back out there, and Mike Kelly didn't bring Alan Williams back out.
Or Gorjok back.
And he's done that now. I think he's realised that they need to have one of the big fellas in the middle of that zone.
Great last quarter from New Zealand. 25 points to 14. They've outscored the Phoenix. A little over a minute left on the clock. And Parker Jackson Cartwright is making things happen. He's going to the free throw line again. This will be a new season high in the NBL as he takes free throws numbers 15 and 16.
Behind the touch.
And that's 4 fouls on Mitch Creek as well.
But Mitch Creek is athletic. He can get side to side. We're going to get a challenge here from Mike Kelly. And look, if you're going to have a timeout anyway, there's probably no point. No, I tell you what.
That's going to be unsuccessful.
I think it is. That forearm in the back is, from that angle, and Mike Kelly wants to challenge it.
Well, I don't think we're too good at guessing these, are we, Hulls?
Well,
you've been better this year, I've noticed.
I've won one this year. I've got it correct, so technically can't get worse. But based on that angle that we saw straight away, I think this is going to be hard to overturn. But just look at the quickness of Parker Jackson Cartwright. There was a gap. Mitch Creek is quick enough to slide his feet with most. Let's have another look at it. Right. I mean, it's not a heap in it, but it's still that contact.
Parker Jackson Cartwright is crafty, right? As soon as he felt that pressure, it's a foul.
He's also tiny as well, so
doesn't take much to push in.
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor is confirmed. The foul will remain on black 55. We resume with 2 shots to 6 blue.
There we go, as we expected. You're on the board. 1 for 1.
Love it. I don't get them right at home very often, so pretty happy that I got one right on here.
Well, it's just right there, just the contact when you're out of position on the side, you're not in front, you're not in that legal guardian position, so. And it always looks worse, slowed down. So there is the contact.
4th personal on Mitch Creek, so. Parker Jackson Cartwright setting a new NBL season high here in terms of free throws. Trying to get up to 16. As we saw last year, Manu Pinda took 20 free throws in a game against the Kings in round 8. This is the most we've seen this season so far. 14 of 16 from the free throw line. Parker Jackson Cartwright with 31 points in the game. Violation called here. It's only Jordan Crawford with 32 for Tasmania against Sydney, and Jordan Usher with 35 in round 1 for Perth against Tassie have scored more than Parker Jackson Cartwright has in a game this season.
Just cannot believe this is a 3-point game right now. Phoenix have controlled that for the whole first 3 quarters.
They've got some work to do. Again, good D. Offensive rebound, keeping it alive. What a play that is! Making it happen when they needed it, Gary Brown.
That's a dagger.
That's the the rim protection we were asking for from Mango, but you've got to come up with that rebound.
Played so well in this fourth quarter, New Zealand, to get back in it, but this just simply cannot happen. Switch right there, great contest. The smallest guy, second smallest guy on the floor comes up with it and gets an and one opportunity. That is a dagger. You get that rebound, you come down with a chance to tie it.
Can't get the back end, but it's a 5-point ball game. And Parker Jackson Cartwright is off and running, gets to the baseline against Ben Eyre. Tough shot, couldn't convert. Mangang had a moment with it, but now Parker Jackson Cartwright puts a lid on 2 more.
Well, so we've gone from Gary Brown, offensive rebound down one end, Parker Jackson Cartwright, offensive rebound down the other. Shake hands, we move on.
Gary Brown at 185 centimetres, Parker Jackson Cartwright at 180. And still get the offensive boards.
In the clutch, both of them.
Yeah. Joined us late. Phoenix were up 26 with 3 minutes to play in the third.
It is without fathom.
A stop here is going to be very interesting. Gap. Williams in traffic. Oh, slow pass, Ben Eyre. They're making hard work of this, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Red numbers on the shot clock. They need a bucket, and the big source provides it. He loves it too.
Sure does. Just lives in that high post area for good reason when you've got a touch like that for a big man.
21 points, 13 boards, 4 assists now for Alan Williams.
Well, geniuses in hindsight, but that right there from New Zealand, when you've played a tremendous defensive possession in the clutch in dying moments like that, when that ball gets kicked back out to Gary Brown, everyone just has to man up. There's no need to trap then. Try and settle for something one-on-one rather than trapping and then letting the ball get to an open man.
Taipans and Kings straight after this one. It'd be entertaining to be more fun than what we've seen here between the Phoenix and the Breakers. Certainly the fans have enjoyed it. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix looking to go 4-0 on their home floor at the start of this season. Having won 13 of their last 15 home games at the Fire Pit. Hard to beat. But full credit to the Breakers. I keep saying it because they are undermanned. Lost 12 of their last 13 at this venue. As you can see, that was the run for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Played a double in round 6 at Brisbane and then against Cairns. And they've got 4 single games in a row against Melbourne, Adelaide, New Zealand and Sydney.
Played a lot of doubles early on. Right now they need a quick bucket. Ideally a 3, but it doesn't matter, just a good quick look.
Needing a 3, and Finn Delaney's on the bench.
Parker Jackson Cartwright will restart here. 33 points. They get the 3 ball away, but never looked likely. But they've kept it alive.
2 for $1.
Rebound. And it's off the mark.
3 for $1.
Firing and eventually coming up with the finishing touches there. So Cam Glidden knocks down the triple. His second 3 of the game. Cut the margin to 2. As you can see, it's all happening.
Mayo's pedometer has gone through the roof.
Hang on. Guys.
So we'll catch our breath here. Cam Glidden eventually got the 3 ball to work. So the margin cut to 2. As Moller restarts here, they'll be inclined to foul. That's exactly what they do.
So this is where, I know they got away there. Anthony Lamb's new to the league, and that's where they're asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. They're not going to get it, but you can always put yourself in that situation. That's where you need to have that communication that we were talking about, Jenna, with the referee, saying, we're going to foul as soon as we get in. As long as you don't hug and you kind of have a slap at it, the referee knows, rather than anything where you put your arm around and it gets upgraded.
You just have to go for the ball.
Well, that works too.
You've got to know the rules of the game. You've got to go for the ball.
So that happened before the substitution.
And Modi was screaming for that timeout.
Here it is from Gary Brown. There's no timeouts left for the Breakers. So this right here put the nail in it.
Been good, Gary Brown. 18 points, 8 assists, just 2 turnovers. Steadied the ship here in the last quarter. Oh my. Misses the back end there, so the door is ajar. But just not enough. So eventually, what was looking like a big win for the Phoenix ends up being a narrow survival. They get it done by 3 points. It's the Phoenix 103, the Breakers 100 in an entertaining affair from the fire pit. Alan Williams is the footlocker player of the game. No surprise there. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Big Sauce gets it done once more.
He was awesome. Really dominant. But that's a lucky escape.
Wrap it up right after this as the Phoenix squeak home.